to the POTS Perspective. I'm Samantha, and today I'm going to go into something that many of us might not be thinking of right now, but it's important: having to work with a chronic illness. This is something that I know from personal experience can be hard to do, but I'm going to go into tips that might help you get through that workday. So, further ado, let's get into it. So, what I first want to talk about is maybe trying to find a job that has flexible hours. I know one job that I had one time has very flexible hours, and I also have been there for a while at this time I got diagnosed, but if I don't feel good, really don't feel good, I can find coverage, they give me coverage. They're like, okay, you don't have to come in. But if you find a job that works from home, that's probably the best because there's a lot of things that you can do because you're home. And it helps to reduce the stress of commuting and allows for rest during the high symptom times. So I feel like you can get through a workday easier if you're home compared to if you're out in society. I also want to talk about if you do work from home, having a adjustable workstation. So a sit and stand desk, and allowing you to work from a reclined or seated position to prevent the blood from pooling. You can also use stools or ottomans to help elevate your legs, and maybe Also, temperature control is a huge thing. I know it's freezing in these cold weather regions right now, and a cold environment prevents the widening of your blood vessels, which can worsen dizziness in POTS patients. So I kind of recommend to dress warm if you know that your house is on the colder side, even with heat. As for physical management, wear compression garments. So if you have to wear something nice, wear high quality compression stockings, ones that are waist high, so it helps improve circulation. I know that when I'm out in events and I have to wear stockings because it helps with the blood circulation, and I feel because one time I didn't do it with the compression stockings and it was kind of hell, I'm not gonna lie. And this is probably one of the most important ones, is hydration and salt. So throughout your workday, you have to maintain high fluid intake. So electrolyte drinks, water, and increase your sodium consumption, obviously as recommended by your doctor. I also know that counter maneuvers work. So performing leg exercises, crossing your legs, contracting your whole body helps me a lot. Or squatting if you feel lightheaded to bring the blood back to your heart. I'm also sorry for my raspy voice. I haven't had my voice back in months, but here we are. I also feel that pacing also helps. So you break up tasks to avoid overexertion and all of a sudden fatigue in POTS patients. I also want to stress how important it is to have small, frequent meals. Avoid the large, heavy meals, because that can kind of draw blood away from your brain to your digestive system, and so it would make your symptoms worse. So small, frequent meals. So I kind of like to think of it as having little Lunchables throughout the day of what I like little sample sizes of everything that I like. Because even if I eat a big dinner, say, I don't feel good afterwards. You know how you're supposed to feel amazing. I don't feel good. I feel dizzy. I feel lightheaded. It's not good. I also feel that it is important, if you are working from home and you are sitting for a while, to have a good exercise routine. So focus on exercises that you can do while laying down or sitting. I know that the Nintendo has a new kickboxing game, I think it's Kickboxing 3, and they have a sit boxing option, and I absolutely love it. And they also have it for Tai Chi, And I think that it's probably one of the most amazing things. This isn't like an advertisement or anything. This is just my honest opinion. And also like rowing exercises. So like I know it's cold right now, but like during the summertime, if you're gonna go and have fun, I guess, on a lake, you can go rowing after your job, after a hard day's work. And then also like cycling or swimming. I know swimming I love to do after I work because it's just nice and relaxing. I can go right into it. It's amazing. This also, doing all of this in general can like increase your stamina and not worsen your symptoms if you do stuff like this. I want to go into how I go through a work day. Sitting down for like, I don't know, it depends, but like the max I think was like 8 hours that I've sat, right? So what I usually do is when I try to get up in the morning, like maybe an hour before I have work or 2 hours before I have work. And then it's kind of like you have to have a good morning routine too. So like I do my morning meditation and then I read an affirmation and then I sit in my bed for like 10-ish minutes. And then I drink water. I always make sure I have water by my bed. And after I drink that water, I'm usually a lot more energized. And so that's when I go and make breakfast, like a small breakfast for myself. And then I bought this heating blanket for myself. And I honestly feel that it has helped me so much while working from home. I feel that my legs aren't as cold and there's not as much pooling. And my legs are like overall like warm and my body's overall warm. Like get one that you can change the settings on. So I know some of them just have one like button that you can hit and it heats it, but I like the one that I have because it goes from like a 0 to like I think 10. So I can like do the intensity based on how I feel. And then I recently just got myself a little leg bicycle thing, and while I'm working I do these little cycles on my legs, and I feel, even in my hands, when my hands get cold when I do this, I feel that it gets warm. And then as everyone knows, I love drinking Element, so I have always a cup of water and a cup of Element by my desk when I work, and then I have a small like bag of mixed nuts on my, like in my dresser, not my dresser, sorry, my desk. And that helps me too, because sometimes if I'm on the phone or I'm doing like heavy in work, I need to eat something, I can just take a handful of almonds and eat it. You might say, well, how about brain fog? And honestly, till this day, sometimes I get a little mixed up. But if I do this routine and I do it good, if I feel pretty good and I don't really have that much brain fog, which is obviously good. So, to close, everyone, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of The Pause Perspective. I hope that you found some tips and tricks that could help you in the workplace. And I also just want to remind you guys, I don't know if I told you, but I opened an Etsy shop called The Chronic Spark. As of right now, I have 4 beaded bracelets on there, and I'm going to continue to release new jewelry as the weeks go on. I would recommend that you take a look. Before I sign off, I want you to remember one thing before I do leave. I want you to remember to be kind to yourself and to try to find the joy in the little things. Because when you find the joy in the little things, it makes the hard things less hard. So, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.